You heard that right, everybody?
Yep.
By the way, the high here on Friday is 58.
Wow.
I know this is why you don't go early. That's all I'm saying.
No.
Never had a spring like this before.
We did up in Anoka last year. That's why we said we're not going back early. But anyway, let's do this. How to avoid a bike, a car, and a swerving truck. Hello and welcome to Throwing Your Parents Under the Bus podcast. I'm Jane Johnson, and on today's episode, veteran crash investigator and driver safety expert Mike Pehl breaks down one of the most important skills every driver needs to know, and that's how to react when another vehicle suddenly swerves into your lane. But before we dive into today's topic, I'm handing things over to you, Miss Natasha, who's here to share the observations of one of our students who's gathered good information after completing one of the enrichment assignments that we require as part of our curriculum. Natasha?
Yes. So we have Damaris from St. Cloud. Damaris talks about his experience while riding in the car with his dad to observe other drivers. He says, I was riding with my dad and we witnessed a car pulling out in front of a truck too, and there was a biker on the side of the road in the bike lane, and he was swerving around because he was trying to pay attention to what was happening beside him, and the truck had to swerve around to the back of the car to not hit the biker. And if the driver of the car would have looked around and accessed the situation before just pulling out in front of a vehicle, there wouldn't have been confusion. I think he means assessed.
I think he does too, but that's all right.
But we got it. We got it,
Yeah,
Damaris.
yeah.
Don't worry.
So that's a whole bunch of chaos, Michael.
Yes, indeed. And I just got done with a behind the wheel lesson and I did this poor little girl. So I'm a really nice guy. And when the third lesson comes and you're ready for your license, it's not time to be making the mistakes that Damaris just witnessed. And this was an experienced driver that wasn't paying attention and pulled off. So I had this young lady today, and through the online classroom, they know me. They know me, and I'm not mean, but like here's what I said to her: we're gonna take a right. And what she did was she took the car, and she moved like this. And I said, Ava, now we have to stop. We have somebody splattered underneath our car because you, the new driver, didn't look. You took your car and you moved into a lane. You didn't assess the thing. What do we do when we make a right turn? We signal and we always check to the right blind spot. Always, always, always. You cannot rely on mirrors. And I said, now you are the first one that gets to get out and get this person off from underneath your car. You are. All right. It's not going to be pretty, but that's what life is, guys. It's what life is. This is what happens when we don't pay attention, when we get lazy behind the wheel. And the more you drive, a lot of drivers get lazy. And that's what that car did. And that car probably had no clue what was going around them. Now we have a semi driver that swerves. I want you to, and yeah, okay, okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. So then we're
Okay.
taking a left turn on a curve. Okay, so a curve like this, and we're gonna
Mhm.
make a left. Our curve's going like this, and we're gonna make a left, and then but our street goes straight on the curve, and then a semi comes like this, is going to come around like this, and then of course, we have to yield to a left turn, and it's a semi coming, and it's really a dangerous curve, and this girl happens to live by that, so she goes to that curve a lot. So I said, you need to put your signal on now because you need to let the cars behind know that you're going to be stopping in the middle of the road and you're not taking a left, you're actually going straight, but we're not going around the curve. Well, here comes a tanker truck, okay, a big gas truck, all right. And I see it, and it's like a quarter mile away, but it takes a long time to get out of this intersection or this to make this curve. And she hesitates, and then she hits the gas and goes, which she had time to do, but it was all because she wasn't focused on the most dangerous turn she's going to make every day of her life, every day of her life. And so as we make it, she goes, "Oh, that was close." And I said, "Well, let's just analyze what could happen there. You hit tanker truck explodes with 80,000 pounds of gasoline in it. We're on a hill. The gas is on fire. It runs down the hill. All these people are running and burning. Houses are going up. You and I have burned to death instantly because it went poof, you know. And that poor driver died too, by the way. But just think of all the people, this wall, this wave of gasoline coming down the hill at everybody looking at this burning flame coming at you. Can you imagine that? So
I can picture
you
it.
probably freeze. I don't know what would you
yes,
do there for
yes.
all those people? Can you get
So
off or what?
So let's move this into Damaris's situation. That semi driver right there swerved. Okay, was that a good thing for that semi driver to swerve? Now it was. It
Oh,
worked out in this situation. But what happens if that semi driver was a tanker driver and swerves, flips that truck over this little thing, and now we have houses burning. We have people in their houses burning to death. We have all the vehicles, all the safety people. So nobody thinks of what the worst thing can happen is, and that's what it is. Does it happen every day? Absolutely not. But does it happen? Yes. You
Mhm.
Google tanker truck fires, and I'll bet you will find all kinds of them. Umpteen die in this flame, umpteen die in this flame. And I always think back to one, I think we have it in our curriculum in our classroom. I always look back to the one where the tanker truck went across the railroad tracks,
right.
and where I think it was 28 people burned to death in their cars when that train hit that tanker truck. So come on, people, And Damaris, good for you, because see, you are the smarter driver that we are trying to put on the road. And can we
Mhm.
fix stupid? We can't fix it, guys.
Mhm.
I know that's not, as my little grandson says, you can't say that word. Stupid's a naughty word. But you know what? We can't fix it. And
Right.
those drivers are always going to be there. But we always, now that is what I have. The defensive part of me says, what would you do if it did happen? Because if you don't know what to do when it happens, that's when we become in the middle of the disaster. So, a great job. Like I say, great job because he witnessed a car pulling out, a trucker swerving, and the only thing that didn't happen was the crash. So we call that lucky.
That's right. Well,
Today,
Yes.
I'd rather be lucky than good any day, but I know that's not really good for driving.
yes,
You need to be
yes,
ready, not
yeah,
lucky.
yeah. So great job, Damaris. Great job. I like it. I just like it. See,
Great.
one
Well,
No,
of
my
thanks for the,
story doesn't end in a fiery crash, but I
oh,
was in active labor with Alexia, and we were at a crosswalk, and this truck right in front of us hit a biker right in front of us. And I looked at Dane, I was like, we are not stopping. Like, we have to get to the hospital. But yeah,
oh,
a biker got hit on the way.
oh
yeah.
my
He was
gosh.
fine, I'm pretty sure, but I had
Yeah.
bigger things to worry about.
Yeah, true, true. Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
because of
Well, we're glad they
you,
didn't hit you then.
because
That's all I
because
have to
of
say.
you, because of you now I have to deliver this kid in the middle of a road.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, there's a story to tell, right?
Hmm.
Yes. All right. Well, you know what? That was great. Thank you.
So
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I mean it just like I said, the lesson today was it's just a great lesson. It's just, and what I like about it is we have a 15-year-old kid that sees this. you know
Yes.
and then how does this 15-year-old kid, he gets to tell his parents, but how do we fix it? How does he go on to say, God, that was really good, and now I'm really going to get paranoid and start looking at everybody else because that's what it's all about. That's where it all starts. And for our viewers out there, this is where the broad, seeing the big picture starts. This is what it means to become a defensive driver, to see everything around you. And when you see it happening, what are you going to do? So, like I say, great job.
Yeah,
Like it.
being prepared. All right. Well, that's it for today's episode. And if you learned something today, don't keep it to yourself. Share this episode with your friends and your family, and also let them know that they can catch every episode on our YouTube channel, which is YouTube.com/Drive Safe, Ride Safe 1, which is the number, not the word. And you can hit subscribe. It's free, and you'll be the first to know when a new episode drops. If you got questions or a story or a topic you want us to tackle, we're there for you too. You can use our email, drivesaferidesafe@gmail.com, and we actually read them, and your message might spark our next episode. I'm Jane Johnson, and this has been Throwing Your Parents Under the Bus. And of course, always remember to
Drive safe.
Ride safe.
.com.
See y'all.
Bye.
See ya.